That's neat. Okay, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where did you go to school?
Well, I am from Nashville, so I went to high school at Pope John Paul II, but I go to college here in Knoxville at the University of Tennessee, graduating early in December, so like a month away.
Wow.
It's a little nerve wracking, but I'm excited.
What are you studying?
Journalism, and I have a focus in sports broadcasting.
Were you always a journalism major? Did you switch majors at all?
No, I actually came in as a journalism major, so I'm one of the lucky ones, I guess you'd say. I think that's the only reason why I get to graduate early.
Because you never change.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your current position here at WBIR.
Right now I'm the high school sports reporter. I will produce all the web content for high school sports. We have a show on Friday nights called The Blitz, and so we put together a schedule early in the week, and we'll have the other sports reporters and myself, and then some photogs. We'll go out, shoot the games, and we'll put together the show on Friday nights. And then I'll cut the show and write a summary for each game, put that up on the website Friday night whenever I get off. This is the first week of playoffs, so usually on Thursdays I will go to a Thursday night game, but this is the first week we don't have a game since it is playoffs, and so I'll usually do something on Thursdays as well with the game, and then I will write previews before each game happens.
Okay, so are you always just behind the scenes doing the web content, or are you in the field ever?
Well, I always go out and shoot stuff, but right now I'm not on TV. I will put together. I've done a couple packages that have gone on the website, but that's my goal is to be on TV.
Do you have a date of when that could happen for you here, or is that not something? Okay.
I don't know about here.
How did you get the position you're in now?
This time last year, I interned here. I was a sports intern at WBIR, and over the summer, Dr. Swan, one of the professors at UT, he contacted me, and Tanya Burke, who worked as an employee here, she contacted me, and they were like, "We think you'd be really good for this. This spot opened up. Would you like this?" And so Tanya had me send all of my stuff to her that was updated, and I was in Scotland. I was still another month in Scotland whenever they told me that I had the job. So I just started whenever I got back. It was like end of July.
So this is a part-time job for you. You're no longer an intern.
I'm no longer an intern. It's a 36-hour part-time.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And you still are a full-time student?
Yes.
Did you have any other previous jobs or internships that led you to this position?
Well, anytime ESPN comes to UT, I'll work with them. I worked on the college game day for the Florida game, and then for the Alabama game, I helped with the showing the game of that last year. And then anytime they came for a basketball game, I would always help them as well. And recently for the Georgia game, I got to be on air for ESPNU, and that was a really great experience because I finally got to do something on air.
So how did you get that position with ESPNU? Has that had anything to do with your work here at WBIR?
Dr. Swan, he was the one that actually got that together. He contacted this guy named AC, who's in charge of ESPNU, and he told him that he had 3 students he wanted to specifically work on the football game because ESPNU was coming for the soccer game that was the next day, and so he wanted us to do something a little bit more advanced than what they had planned to do for the soccer game. And so myself, Taylor Hathorn, and Andrea Tucker, we each had our own part that we got to focus on for the Georgia game.
Oh, that's really impressive. What do you think the most important skills are to be able to do what you do and the jobs that you would like to get?
I think having a big personality has a lot to do with it. If you watch people on TV now, it's not somebody that's like dull and like real monotone, and especially in sports and news, you have to be more serious, I feel like. But in sports, it's the more animated people that make it the furthest. If you look at somebody that's on ESPN versus like, say, somebody in like a tiny town that is just selling for a job in a tiny town, if they don't get the big personality, they don't dream big, and that's another thing. You have to dream big and have the motivation to like stay on the grind, as they say, because it's really hard, especially being like a female in sports. That's really a battle fighting right now is because mainly you see, like in the past, you've seen males doing the sports broadcasting, but I had lunch with a guy from a Nashville station not too long ago, and he was telling me that probably would be my biggest battle, and that not to be discouraged though, because he looked at the ESPN and the Fox sideline reporting teams for college football this past year, like whenever it first came out for this season, and he said 15 out of the 16 had a female sports reporter as the main reporter on the team. And so I think that's just saying a lot that girls really are like coming and making a stance. Yeah.
What's your dream job?
My dream job? That would be working for College Game Day, being a sideline reporter, definitely.
Okay. When did you know you wanted to become a sports reporter?
I figured it out right before I got to college. It was summer before my senior year in high school, and the adults and the teenagers were always arguing because there was like either really old people and then there was like people our age, and the adults were always like, they're so loud, blah blah blah, because there's a commons area where there's a basketball court, 2 pools, a playground, tennis courts. There's so much you can do. And they were trying to take down the basketball goals because they said that the basketball bouncing was the loudest part. And so, and they said that a lot of people from other areas would come to use our basketball goals because it was just out in the open. And so they didn't like the people that were coming into our neighborhood. So they were saying they're ghetto and stuff like that. But anyway, so they tried to tear them down. And myself and this guy named Vaughn Cornelia, he plays football at Savannah State, we were in charge of speaking up for the teenagers. So it was us against the adults. And News Channel 5 came to, it was like on local TV. And we talked, because at this time I wanted to be a marine biologist. Like I was so set that I wanted to be with dolphins and like swimming around in the ocean. And then whenever we got done, like the teenagers ended up winning, and everyone came up to me afterwards like, did you write that yourself? And they're like, you did really good, like you talk really well in front of people. And then that's also when Erin Andrews was going through the Peephole scandal, and I really liked how she handled everything. And so I've always grown up with sports, and so my mom was like, maybe you should listen to these people that are telling you that you did a really good job and you should think of doing something else, because I'm absolutely terrified of sharks. So marine biology was not looking too good for me. And so that's whenever I looked into the sports broadcasting, after looking at Erin Andrews and everyone talking to me about it.
What would you say your favorite sport is to work with?
It's kind of torn between football and baseball, because my dad, he coached and umpired for 18 years. So I grew up on the diamond. I was kind of like the little girl from Remember the Titans, but baseball version. And I had like 25 brothers always around, picking on me. So I've always loved baseball, and I grew up playing softball. And then football, I was a little girl, like little kindergarten, a little cheerleading uniform on the sidelines cheering for my high school that I was going to be at in a few years down the road. But I've always loved football. I work for the football team now.
What do you do for the football team?
I'm one of the hostesses, so anytime a recruit comes to campus, I'll tour him around on game days. I'm kind of just the go-to person if they have a question, if him and his family or coach or whoever's with him need help with something. I'm who they can contact, and they feel like they can have trust in me.
All right, how long have you had that job?
I've done that for 2 years now.
How did you start that? Did you have a friend who got you into that, or?
It was actually Story's sister, Erica Boozer. She was one of the captains, and whenever she knew that I was a sports broadcasting major, she was like, you better do this, like, you're gonna get involved in this. And so she pretty much made me go through the interview process, which you interview for about a month. And you have an individual interview, then a group interview, and then another individual interview. And so go through all of that, and then I finally made it.
Is that a competitive process?
Very. Starts out with about 50 people on the team, but there was over 800 that applied whenever I applied.
Gosh.
And not all 50 of those spots are open because there's people that return.
That's impressive. So does that end with football season? Is it only a fall semester type job?
No, that will continue. It's year round because the high school guys, they'll sign in February. It's the first week of February, so January is a really big recruiting time, and I feel like that really helps me with this job because with recruiting, like with being the high school sports reporter, I know what these guys are going through, like recruiting wise, you know. So and I feel like with the job with the football team and here, I know a lot more about the guys here in Knoxville just because the Knoxville guys have been really focused on by the new coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
So I already know, like, for example, Todd Kelly Jr., he's one of the 2014 commits. I've been his hostess multiple times, so I already knew him, you know, like, I know he's a good player, so I also do player of the week. And so it's really cool getting to see the guys that I've been a hostess for or seeing other girls be a hostess for get recognized, like, through their high school and in the community.
Do you like doing that better than the sports reporting side?
Oh.
No?
No, I do not want to be a hostess for life. I mean, that is definitely a fun, I don't want to call it a hobby because it is a job, but it's just something fun to do, like, while in school. I definitely want to be a sports reporter, and I could not ask for a better experience here. I've kind of gotten to learn a little bit of everything. I get to shoot, edit, write. I get to do everything while I'm here. So, and not many people get to do a real job like this while they're still in school. So I feel like it's really pushed me, and it's going to help prepare me more for whenever I graduate in December.
So do you know what you want to do after graduation?
I have a couple options right now, but I'm keeping my mind open. Right now, I've been talking to the SEC network, so that's looking very hopeful right now. But I love working here at WBIR. It's the lead station here in Knoxville, so I couldn't ask to be in a better position working at the lead station. So I'm hoping that they'll keep me on after I graduate, but everything's still up in the air right now.
Okay, well, thank you and best of luck.
Thank you.